Ready?
Hi everyone, and welcome to another in a series of conversations with some of our very favorite travel partners to talk with them about makes them truly special and to share with you how you can experience an amazing vacation with them as travel returns. Hey, today we're joined by Richard Hickey. Richard is Director of Key Accounts at the Scenic Group. Richard, thanks so much for joining us today. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, Bob. Pleasure. Thanks for having me today. Having fun.
Yeah, glad to have you on. We've been wanting to spread the word about you with our clients and our fans. So thank you so much for joining us. I'll start off with this, Richard. We got a chance to get to know you at a conference, a cruise planners conference, about a year and a half ago or so, and enjoyed your presentation very much. But we also know that you, as the Scenic Group, have really only been marketing to the U.S. Market for a number of years, I think 6, 7 years or so. So can you take a few minutes and introduce our viewers to the Scenic Group?
Sure, absolutely. Hello everyone, and again, Bob, thanks for having me. So, the Scenic Group is an Australian company, and we basically have our journey started about 34 years ago. And I think you do have a slide there. There it is. There's our owner, Glenn Moroney. So we are an Australian company, and Glenn's got a very unique story and history behind the Scenic Group, where he started offering motor coach tours around Australia. His father had purchased a small resort down on the Australian coast, and Glenn didn't really know what he wanted to do. So his father said, figure out how to get people down there. So he chartered a motor coach and started doing day tours and then doing tours all around Australia. Grew the company to a global tour company, but saw what was happening in the river cruise industry back in 2008, and that's when he launched Scenic River Cruising. And 2014, we launched Emerald Waterways, our deluxe river cruise line. And last year, we got into the ocean, introduced our first discovery yacht, the Scenic Eclipse. So when you look at the Scenic Group, you've got a diverse group of experiences, if you will, products for your clients to choose from touring, river cruising, small ocean, luxury cruising as well, discovery cruising. So, something for everybody out there. But as you said, we're kind of new to the U.S. market. Glenn recognizes that this is the largest cruise market in the world, and to grow, which he does plan on doing and continue to grow, he needed to tap into the U.S. market. So we've been here about 7 years now, and it's been a great run. I've been with the Scenic Group just about 6 years, so there we go.
Outstanding. Yeah, and I'm actually now even learning about one or two of your brands as I look at this slide. I wasn't familiar with Mayflower or Evergreen. I know we're going to focus on Scenic and Emerald today, and excited to share that,
Sure.
especially with our
Well,
audience.
it just kind of gives you the scope of the Scenic Group, because again, we're not a household name like some of the other river cruise lines out there, and it's important to know that there are options for you. And when you look at the breadth of this company, we offer over 500 cruises and tours in 60 countries. So there is some value and some knowledge and some experience behind the Scenic Group when choosing a vacation experience.
Absolutely. Hey, well, let's talk about the Scenic Group. I'm going to show a visual of the spaceship.
Scenic spaceship. We're going to take you to the moon.
I do have to admit that's what I think of right off the bat.
Right. Well, there's in our marketing material, you see the Scenic spaceships. So this is Scenic, right? We currently own and operate 15 ships, and we do call our Scenic ships spaceships due to design and basically because we do offer some very spacious accommodations in public rooms. So most of our marketing material and in the presentation material, we do refer to them as spaceships. On board, Bob, there's a very contemporary, classy feel. Our ships do hold up to 163 guests. They are the largest to get through the locks and under the bridges. You could put up to 190 on these ships, but we, again, like to focus on more room for the public spaces and, of course, the accommodations on board. But again, 15 ships, spaceships holding up to 163. We do have some smaller vessels, depending on where you're cruising in Europe. 96 guests on the Douro, 120 on the historic Seine River. And then we're also in Southeast Asia. We have 2 ships in Southeast Asia on the Mekong and the Irrawaddy. We introduced a whole new level of luxury over there back in 2016. So, really nice appointed. When you look on board, our owner's wife, Karen Maroney, she's in charge of all the decor. She's handpicked the furnishings and the art, and it's really a very nice, tasteful job when you're on board. The one thing about Scenic, if you take a look at the next slide, is our core message is we are a truly all-inclusive experience, Bob. When your clients, our guests are on board, all the perks and privileges are included. Our goal is to have the guests not even pull out their wallet. It's multiple dining options on board. It's all the beverages, all the spirits, the wines, a lot of regional wines that we're going. Butler service for all categories, not just the higher suites, but for all categories. They have access to the butler for garment pressing, shoe shining, room service. They're there for you. But also, it's all the tours that we include. River cruising is really about experiencing the destination. So we offer a variety of tours that are included called free choice, and they're based on activity level. They can be relaxed, moderate, or active. But we also have those exclusive events, Bob, scenic and rich. These are our real wow factors. These are where we're going to take your clients behind the scenes for these special moments. Could be a medieval feast in Germany at the Marksburg Castle, or a nice Viennese concert in Vienna at the Palais Liechtenstein. So these are truly memorable experiences that are private as well as inclusive as well. So again, our goal is really for no charges. There are some charges on board in the wellness center. You could purchase a massage or a makeover if you want, but our core is to make sure that the perks and privileges are all included, the seat right there. Yeah. So if you've got that client that's looking for the convenience of everything being all inclusive, this is the product that they want, with exceptional service and dining on board.
Well, one thing that I remember from your presentation a year or so ago, Richard, that was very memorable was when you stood up in front of our group, you said essentially that you want all-inclusive. We are truly all-inclusive.
Truly,
in
yeah.
fact, unless you want a helicopter ride or a submarine ride, it's pretty much all in there. And
that's on the ocean product, absolutely. And it's about the value. It's about what we put into the product and what our guests will get out of the experience. So, we're always going above and beyond, looking at other ways to create more value for the guests when they're on board, and then when they're on shore as well. We've got a group of journey designers that are traveling to the destinations that we're cruising and handpicking and creating some very memorable experiences with the tours. So again, if you've got that client that prefers the all-inclusive, the convenience of everything being there, this is the product for them. Absolutely.
Well, I think you've given us a good snapshot of the Scenic brand. Can we move forward? Let's talk
Sure, absolutely. Let's talk about Emerald Waterways. Yeah. So Emerald is our deluxe experience. When I say deluxe experience, but at a value price point. So Emerald Waterways, we introduced Emerald Waterways in 2014, more or less as a value proposition to Scenic. So you don't have as many choices, not as many inclusions, but obviously it's priced a little bit less. Instead of unlimited beverages, you have beer and wine at lunch and dinner. We don't have as many dining options. We don't offer as many tours, but we do have extra special tours that we do include as well. So for guests looking for a little bit more of a deluxe experience at value pricing, Emerald's the Waterway. So when you look at what we include, which we call the exceptional Emerald value, it's no wonder 5 years in a row we've been voted the best experience for the money. And that's really a strong statement, Bob, when you look at all the great cruise lines that are out there with Emerald Waterways. We refer to the Emerald ships as starships. So these are starships due to the design, a lot of innovations on board. We have open-air balconies. We do have pools with retractable roofs that guests can do some laps on. That's one of the most stunning innovations on board. But they do hold up to 182 guests. So when you get into the higher categories, the suites are not as large as the Scenic suites would be, but very comfortable as well. Karen's done a great job on the design as well. But really, again, when you're looking for that deluxe experience, this is a product for them. Just like Scenic, we do cruise the rivers of Europe, 8 and 15-day cruises, but we're also in Southeast Asia. We introduced the Emerald Harmony 84-passenger ship last year, cruising into out of the Mekong, and she's the only ship of her size that actually berths right downtown in Ho Chi Minh City. So that's one of the selling points of selling Emerald Waterways over on the Mekong, the availability of just docking right downtown and getting off at the city center with Emerald. So between the river experiences, I've got that all-inclusive luxury, I've got that deluxe value price, and between both experiences, we've got 24 ships. So plenty of opportunity for you to sell, Bob, and your clients to choose from when you look at our river ships there.
Outstanding. So you mentioned at the top of the conversation and on the slide the Scenic Eclipse. And I tell you, I get so many questions nowadays about expedition cruising. Please tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's great. So as I mentioned, back in 2019, our owner decided to launch, actually it goes back about 7 years ago, when Glenn decided to get into the expedition cruising. However, we call it discovery cruising. So last year in August, we launched our first discovery vessel called the Scenic Eclipse. She carries just 228 passengers. And Bob, she's the first ship of her size that's designed for both luxury and discovery. So you've got the best of both worlds on this ship. Right now, you've got ships that either cater to the luxury market or the discovery market. The Eclipse handles both those experiences on board. Just like the Scenic Rivers, truly all-inclusive on board. Guests will have up to 9 restaurants to choose from fine dining to relax, 24-hour room service for the butlers. We've got 100 choice whiskey bars, so the whiskey flows on board, actually 110 different choices. Sake bar, champagne bar, all the staterooms, the suites have private verandas on board. But a truly all-inclusive experience with the tours as well. So when they go on shore, we're going to have the Scenic and Rich. We'll also have the Scenic Free Choice that are tours based on activity level. However, we do have a couple toys on the Scenic Eclipse. We've got 2 onboard helicopters, as you see in the slide here. These are 2 Airbus H-130 helicopters, specifically designed for the Scenic Eclipse, but we also have a submarine, Scenic Neptune, that will take our guests down 984 feet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Now again, going back to the all-inclusive, it's inclusive with the meals, the dining, the beverages, the tours, but there will be additional charges for the toys of the helicopters and the submarines. So this is an actual picture of image of the Eclipse, her first season down in Antarctica. So what's unique about the Eclipse on the Discovery side, Bob, is she's built with what's called a Polar 6 hull. She's really the first polar-coated vessel to be able to cruise down there. And what this hull does, this reinforced hull, it's pretty much an ice class classification hull. It allows her to really push through the ice and safely navigate these waters. So we can go a little bit farther into these areas. As Captain James said to me when I was on board with him, I happened to experience the Eclipse last year, spent some time on her. He says, Richard, this ship has skills that no other ship does have. So, and one of those is the Eclipse. So even though she's designed for the polar regions, to the Antarctica and to the Arctic, she goes everywhere in between. We're open to the Mediterranean, Norwegian fjords, down into the sunny Caribbean, South America, again, offering anywhere from 9 to 17-day cruises. We do have some World Explorer cruises where basically our guests can get on in one port, spend a couple months on the ship as well. So we have these open jaw cruises. But she's truly an amazing ship. Our first season was so excellent, and our guests loved it that we decided to build another one. So we just laid the steel for the Scenic Eclipse 2 recently at the shipyard. So if you've got guests looking for that all-inclusive luxury discovery experience, this is a ship for it.
Okay, I'm in. I'm in. When do I sign up? I got to do. I think
Yeah,
I should know how to do that.
nice cruise. Yeah, definitely.
Outstanding. And then you have another new exciting announcement on the Emerald side, if I'm not mistaken, right?
True. So as you can see, there's kind of a trend here with the small ocean yachts, as we call them here. So on Emerald, our deluxe experience, currently we have the Emerald Azura that's under construction right now. She's scheduled to launch late in 2021. And this is the first ship that we're launching within Emerald Cruises. She'll hold 100 guests. She's designed, as you see here, with a modern feel. We're offering plenty of public space, very spacious suites, amenities for all of our guests to really enjoy. And you've got that exceptional Emerald value that I mentioned on board the Emerald Waterways. We're just transferring it over to the yacht. She's built for warm water cruising, Bob. So she's going to be cruising all through the Mediterranean, Eastern, Western Mediterranean, the Adriatic Sea, down that Dalmatian coast, as well as going into the Red Sea in the wintertime, down to Egypt, Israel, and those areas as well. So she's got a 12-month rotation over in those warm water areas. In true style of what you call a super yacht, on the back of the ship aft, we've got a special marina platform. So guests will have a variety of activities in water sports, paddle boards, float islands. So going into these smaller ports, they'll be able to access these water sports and activities. But when you really look at this ship, it's all about calling on those smaller ports, going into these smaller ports that obviously even small ships can't get into, mid-sized ships can't get into, and guests will go ashore with pretty much without a set itinerary, and what our owner calls offering those lollipop tours. We're going to have some scheduled tours, but in surveying guests with this type of experience, it's about really going off on your own and venturing into the interior to see what's happening in these ports. What's really neat is the goal is for our chefs, because as you know, dining is very important on every cruise. Chefs are going to go into the smaller ports, source some of the local foods, and the fresh fish, go to the local markets, get some fresh ingredients, vegetables, come back and prepare a meal based on those ports that we're going to. So we're really excited. Again, she's launching in late 2021. And, as successful, you may see a series of these smaller yachts cruising all around with Emerald Cruises as well. So as you can see, we've got a really strong portfolio of river cruising, small ocean yacht cruising, that intimate atmosphere that we try to focus on.
Outstanding, outstanding. Hey, I so appreciate you joining us today, Richard. This has been super helpful, I think, to give travelers a chance to get a feel for what the Scenic Group is all about and the different brands and how they might be able to enjoy adventures with you in the future. So thanks again for joining us today.
Listen, my pleasure. No better time right now to book a vacation for 2021 and beyond. So we appreciate all your time, and everyone be safe out there.
All right, thank you. Hey, and for those of you, absolutely, and for those of you viewing this, you can not only watch this again at your leisure, but you can enjoy other interviews with some of our best-in-class travel partners on our Facebook page, which is cruiseplanners-utmosttravel.com. So until next time, thank you all. Have a great week.
Peace. Be safe.
Thanks.